Hello and welcome to 2K Sports. You're watching the NBA. Monday Hoops coming up. It'll be LeBron James and the Miami Heat facing off against the Dallas Mavericks. And with tip-off just seconds away, let's head on out to Kevin Harlan and the
Hi again, everybody. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr as we get set to bring you all the action. Now let's check out the State Farm starting lineups. First for the Heat, Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. And the man in the middle from UNLV, Joel Anthony. They utilize his abilities to maintain that presence under the rim. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Bosh in at the 4. And for the Mavericks, Jason Kidd is out there with Rudy Fernandez. And they've got Tyson Chandler, the big man, in the middle. They look to him to provide that necessary presence down low. And it's Caron Butler. And it's Nowitzki in a power forward.
You know, the Mavericks did a really good job against the East, and you have to be strong out of conference if you're going to grab the number 3 seed in the West.
Kidd kicks to Nowitzki. Poked away. It's stolen by Anthony. And they're on the break. He goes up. Chalmers' shot is no good. You're right about the Mavs there, Clark. 22 and 8 against the East last year. Steve, some good numbers.
On a surprising note, they swept some of the bigger fish over in the Eastern Conference. 2 wins each versus Boston and Miami. Oddly enough, they struggled against Milwaukee, like playing down to your competition. That pass was right on the money. Set the play up perfectly.
Outside Kidd. And Butler backing him in. Gets the bucket from 20 feet away. Here's Wade.
Tough season last year for Caron Butler. He was playing so well before he went down with that torn patellar tendon. So hopefully he'll come back and have a strong season this year.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, I was able to speak with Eric Spoelstra for a moment. In terms of their defensive attitude coming into this one, he said, we've been protecting the rim very well at that end of the floor, and that's something I want to see continue today. Guys?
Terrific, Doris. Thanks. Clark, what's your take on this?
I like the mindset they're coming in right now. I think it's the right mindset. A strong defensive effort from them today. I mean, I think it's essential.
Steve?
Well, no question. If they can have success defensively, they're going to create some offensive opportunities for themselves in transition.
And the first one drops.
Steve, that patella tendon injury, really a major setback. I mean, Caron is one of the toughest players in the league and has been since he stepped foot in the NBA. If anybody can come back from that, I think he can.
Jason Terry, he's checked in for Dallas. He's off on the second.
Well, last year in the playoffs, LeBron was up to his usual tricks. He felt good about not having to carry the same load as he always had to, though, and that relieved him a bit and made him better in my mind.
Here's Nowitzki. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Nowitzki. Back to LeBron. You know, Clark, he didn't have to carry the load like he did up in Cleveland, but he still had some big-time shots for the Heat. And, Steve, not necessarily in the regular season, but really in the postseason. That's where he stepped up big time.
Yeah, particularly in the first 3 rounds. In the finals, remember, he kind of took a step backwards, but in that Chicago series, he made some enormous shots in that series. He was so good offensively. And then all of a sudden against Dallas, it was like he lost his confidence. So he's still a little bit of a work in progress in terms of putting it all together.
Well, that was a serious heave there. You can't blame him too much for not being able to corral it in. You know, to have somebody as dependable as he is on the offensive end, that's extremely invaluable to this team.
Fader on the way. That's good from Nowitzki on the assist by Kidd.
This has been the start that they had hoped for, coming out knocking down 4 of their first 5 shots.
You know, you take a look at the makeup of the Heat and the offensive numbers last year. Not a ton of assists, but a lot of free throw attempts. FTAs, we call them. Seemed like they just played to their strengths, and a lot of that was isolating their star player.
Here's Anthony. And the rebound goes to Jason Terry. Well, Clark, you mentioned that stat about the Heat. Steve, surprising they didn't have more assists.
Well, they didn't have a true point guard running things. Mike Bibby was more of a jump shooter, same with Chalmers. But I think a lot of it is that they play very isolation-heavy basketball, as Clark mentioned.
And it's good. 6 points for Chris Bosh. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
This could be a back-and-forth game all the way, guys, the way it's being played. This is fun to watch.
Shot by Terry, no good.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Here's Wade, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's good defense. Don't let a guy get a lay-in, foul hard, and send him to the free throw line.
Yeah, I like that billboard there, sending a message. You can't come in here and get anything free in our paint.
No good on that one.
It's the first time since having Shaq in Miami where Wade didn't really have to carry the load all by himself. I know he feels good about that, but he still managed to contribute when he needs to.
Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Dallas. Marion comes in for Caron Butler. And then for Miami, Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for Joel Anthony. Eddie House subbed in for Mario Chalmers. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Going back, Clark, to Wade, as you were talking about him, it must have been nice for him to not have to score 30 points a game to give the Heat a chance to win in the playoffs for once. And, Steve, we saw that all the way right through the finals.
Well, it was huge for him to be able to share that scoring load with LeBron. Of course, LeBron kind of suffered offensively in that final series against Dallas. But for the most part, Wade and LeBron, just a terrific 1-2 punch all season long. And they are poised to make another run to the finals this year.
The Mavericks trailing. And here is Kidd. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Haslem gets called for the reach. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. The free throw drops for Kidd.
How about Jason Kidd? He's been doing this for so long at such a high level. He's now second all-time on the career assist record, past Mark Jackson back in 2010. And I never thought anyone could make a run at John Stockton's mark, but Kidd's got a shot.
Joel Anthony's checked in for the Heat. And he makes the first, but misses the second. Back to Kidd, it all comes down to how long he wants to play, because I think, Clark, he has a good shot at John Stockton's mark.
Well, it's all about longevity and desire for Kidd. I mean, clearly his vision and his experience. It'll be interesting to see if he does want to give it a shot. That might be something that fuels his fire and keeps him going.
6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, both teams still kind of feeling each other out here, and neither team has been able to find an edge in this game.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. James is whistled for reaching in. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Free throw, good. Terry. So both teams making some changes here. And so he hits both. There's 18 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Terry.
Well, he's showing off his defensive instincts by making plays just like that.
Here's Wade. Over Terry. No good on that last second attempt there. And a high-scoring first quarter. Both teams really filling it up. Mavericks lead by 3.
And they've done a nice...
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. Here's Chalmers.
Well, the West has long been considered the stronger of the two conferences in the NBA, but Miami, with its revamped roster, really had no problem beating Western Conference foes last year.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, thank you, Kevin. For Dwayne Wade, he said he's comfortable with the feelings that the formation of the Big Three caused. He said, quote, it's a love-hate thing, but the opportunity was too great to pass on. He said, as an individual, you don't get an opportunity to do that often in this game. That's what it came down to with us. Me, Chris, and LeBron. We all felt for the first time we were able to control our own destiny. And guys, they may have just changed the way the NBA does business. Back to you.
Doris, thank you. They, Ron, Wade, and Bosch, struck when the iron was hot to form that team, there's no doubt.
And even though they came up short last season, they'll be a title contender, I think, for the next 5 years or so, barring injury. Hard to pass on a chance for that kind of sustained excellence.
You're right, Steve. Going back to Miami in the West, 20-10 against that Western Conference. So that was kind of a rarity.
Yeah, and Kevin, and if you compare their numbers against the West versus the East, the Heat had a much easier time putting up points against the Western Conference opponents.
Deflected and stolen by Butler. Mavericks leading by 5. 5 on 4. Haslem gets the reach-in call. And that'll be his third foul so far. And the Mavericks with some changes. Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Hayward. Nowitzki comes in for Caron Butler. And Rudy Fernandez is subbed in for Jason Terry. The Heat also changing it up. Joel Anthony comes in for Udonis Haslem. And it's LeBron in for Eddie House. Here is Barea, defended by Chalmers. Clock at 6. Barea kicks to Marion. He tries for 3. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Quite the interesting season for Chris Bosh last year. I mean, obviously more team success than he really enjoyed in Toronto, but individually, his numbers dropped a bit. I don't think it bothered him, though. He wanted to win.
Well, talking about Bosch's numbers from last season, Steve, his rebounding and his field goal percentage did drop off from the year before.
Well, and his shooting percentages last year were really in line or even above his career numbers. So I thought Bosh had a good season. It just took him some time to kind of adjust to playing with his new team and a new style, but ultimately Bosh made a big impact down there.
Good on the second free throw.
You know, guys, Dallas kind of gets slept on in terms of playoff action because they've been so disappointed in recent years, but they worked hard all season, and the hard work has its reward.
Great perspective. The Heat trail by 4. Deflects the pass.
Boy, that's a hard pass to make. You got to lead your teammate absolutely perfectly.
Marion backing down. Barea dishes to Marion. Nowitzki kicks to Barea from outside the arc. Dallas again missing. Clark back to Dallas. They weren't really talked about as a contender, and some even had them losing to Portland in the first round. Then, Steve, that Los Angeles upset, that sweep got everybody's attention.
Sure did. They took the first 2 games in L.A., then they blew out the Lakers in Game 4 to finish off the sweep. Just an incredible series, and I think that was the series that was the springboard for Dallas into the finals and past the Miami Heat. When they beat the Lakers, Dallas knew they could win the whole thing.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
Well, the big story, of course, a year ago for Miami was the formation of the Big Three, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. And although it took some time for those 3 to click, eventually they figured it out.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Butler comes in for Sean Marion. And Jason Kidd has subbed in for J.J. Barea. And then for Miami, Ilgauskas is checked in for Joel Anthony. Wade comes in for Chris Bosh. Eddie House subbed in for Mike Miller.
Boy, not much of a job there protecting the rim. I mean, poor.
Well, they just pretty much opened the door for him.
Yeah, he didn't waste the opportunity, did he?
Here's Wade. Steve, back to what you said about Miami. They struggled out of the gate. They were 9-8, but after a rough November, they kicked it on in December. And Clark, I think really the game that kind of spun them around was their first LeBron appearance in Cleveland in the win early December against the Cavs.
Yeah, that was an impressive win. I recall that was almost like an NBA Finals type atmosphere in terms of the media attention and so forth. But in that month, they went 15-1 and really seemed to find their rhythm and, quite honestly, never looked back.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Well, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected coaches in the NBA, and he said of the title team from a year ago, it was one of the most special he's ever been around. He looked at what their strengths were, not what their weaknesses were. Carlisle said, it's not about what you can't do, it's about what you can do. It's not about what your potential shortcomings are, it's what we could accomplish as a group together. And it was just phenomenal to be around them. Guys, a championship will put a smile on everyone's face.
All right, Doris.
Well, I think that's what made the Dallas team so interesting last year. I mean, they were such a good collection of talent, and they all really complemented each other well. They spaced the floor, they played off of Dirk, and they had multiple players who could hurt you in a small backcourt, but they could really, really shoot it.
Fernandez from outside. Rebound by the Heat.
Boy, both clubs really battling under the boards.
Yeah, and, you know, Steve, the rebounding story really mirrors the game at large. I mean, it's been pretty much tit for tat, neck and neck.
Caron Butler, a very capable one-on-one scorer. He's a guy you can go to at the end of games because he can face up, a little bit like Carmelo Anthony, and use that triple threat to score on you.
Free throw, good Butler. And Butler with that triple threat, his jumper is a little flat, but it's accurate.
And you know what, Kevin? He may not be a super high-efficiency scorer, but when he's healthy, I mean, he can get his own shot fairly easily. He's a really solid offensive player.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Chandler. And it's Terrian for Rudy Fernandez. Good on both.
Dallas really played a lot of zone defense last year, and I thought it worked out well for them, especially with the personnel they brought in. Tyson Chandler manning the paint really helped that club.
Fast break, here they come. Miller, defended by Butler. And it's rejected. And here's the break. Kid up top. From downtown, again the miss by the Mavericks. Steve, back to Dallas. Sometimes a team needs to find an identity on defense, and they found that last year with the zone. That was a little clever trick, Clark Kellogg, that Rick Carlisle, the coach of the Mavs, inserted in that team.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the zone, it fit their personnel. You can't overlook the impact that Tyson Chandler has had on their defensive disposition. They have guys that have length that can cause problems in the passing lane. So the zone defense just made some sense. You know, Jason Kidd last season became the oldest guard in the last 45 years to start in an NBA Finals and the second oldest starter to win a title since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Still a great player, even closing in on 40 years of age for Jason Kidd.
He's perfect from the line this time.
Tell you what, you talk about Jason Kidd, Clark, and he's no longer a guy who's going to carve up the defense with his penetration, but he's dramatically improved his jump shot, and he's so steady. He's still really a coach on the floor, and even without the blazing speed and strength, quickness, and everything he had early in his career, he's still a dynamic player.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Money shot, gets it to go. Butler's got 4 this quarter. Here is House.
Slowing it down here, smart. Play for the last shot of the quarter.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, dribble it down to 6 seconds or so and then go. That way you got a chance for a second shot if you miss.
For 3, Kidd. 4 seconds left. Here's Haywood. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. And we've reached halftime in this one. And we'll be back momentarily live from Dallas.
Thanks for joining us for HP at the Half with a terrific game going on at American Airlines Center. For the Dallas...
Welcome back to Dallas, Texas, and tonight's game here at the glistening American Airlines Center. Gorgeous night here in Texas. Here's LeBron. Defended by Butler. A shot's good from LeBron. LeBron's now got the first points of the second half up on the board for the Heat. Nowitzki, the pass to Butler, finds himself wide open and drills it. And the Mavericks lead by 8.
Spoelstra was in a really odd and tough position last season. Never before had there been a bigger free agent talent swing, and he was tasked with getting 3 huge superstars to mesh as a unit. He's done a nice job.
Back to Spoelstra because he was the first coach, Steve, to deal with that much talent. He had some very unique situations pop up along that road.
Well, he sure did, Kevin, and he had to coach that team under a microscope all season long. The basketball world was watching, and that Miami team went through some ups and downs, but in the end, I think Erik Spoelstra did a fantastic job, and he looks to be one of the bright young coaches in this league.
That one misses.
Fellas, it's no secret that Dallas isn't afraid to spend or go into the luxury tax, but in their march to get better, they haven't been very careful with the contracts they've given out.
Knocked away.
Well, that's a really slick move to come up with that steal.
The Heat trail by 7. Here's Wade. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's now got his 4th assist in this one. Back to what you said about the Mavs, it seems they can't find the right center to fit them, and they keep giving out dubious contracts. And Steve, you know as well as anybody being in the front office, and Clark, you too at the Pacers. I mean, it's 50-50 a lot of times. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you got to manage those acorns.
Steve?
Yeah, the personnel decisions are always difficult, especially when it comes to big money deals, but I thought Tyson Chandler really solidified that center position for Dallas last year. They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Dallas calls timeout.
You knew the big three when they came together, guys, that they would be good. But they did a pretty decent job, I thought, of finding complementary players to fill out the roster after a big chunk of the salaries went to the big three.
James Jones, who's checked in for the Heat. Here is Kidd. 6 points for him. The dish to Fernandez. Wade is tagged with the reach. That's his first foul. Well, back to the Heat, and Clark, you're right. They searched out vets that knew how to fill a role and a need and then really build a team around the stars.
Well, and that's critical because anytime you have the core group together, it's about finding role players who are going to accept their responsibilities on the team and accept the fact that sometimes they're not going to see the minutes that they would otherwise like. But they handled it well. They got a good roster around their stars, and it paid off.
Here's Kidd. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. The first free throw is good. Both shots good from the stripe.
The Heat having lots of trouble defending against Kidd.
He has 8 points, and he's knocked down 5 shots at the charity stripe. Good numbers for him.
Yeah, good numbers, and that's been important for his team. They needed some points. He's provided some easy ones at the foul line, so he's making an impact here.
Pulls from the top of the key. That's good from Nowitzki on the assist by Marion. Nowitzki's got his second bucket of the night.
You know, guys, I'm pretty sure when everybody else leaves the gym and goes home, Dirk Nowitzki just sneaks back into the gym and kind of hangs out at that foul line area. He's so comfortable at the elbow and at that high post area. He just shoots right over the top of everybody. It looks like a layup for him.
Fires for three. Rebound by Mario Chalmers. Chalmers has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Getting back to what Steve said about Dirk, with his height, Clark, that elbow shot is virtually impossible to guard.
We call it ATM time. Cash. Because when he gets it there, nobody can bother it. And he also can go by you. He's unorthodox, but he can still, because you have to respect that shot, he has the option to drive as well. But he's a remarkable, remarkable shooter. You know, there was a lot of speculation last year about Dwayne Wade thinking of going to his hometown Chicago. But it turns out he was the guy orchestrating the big 3 in Miami.
Jason Terry, he's checked in for Rudy Fernandez. Both free throws good from Wade. You're right, Clark, talking about Wade. Not a bad recruitment job, and even through 1 year, it's had its bumps worked out, Steve, and it's obviously flying very high with their finals appearance a season ago.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing, and what a job by Wade in recruiting a couple of stars to go along with him, and maybe someday he'll be a college recruiter at Marquette, his alma mater. We'll see. How about the body control, guys? He goes up strong, doesn't he?
Got a piece of it, and stolen by Chalmers. Clark, this offense has really been clicking.
No doubt about it, giving the defense all kinds of trouble.
And they're playing with so much energy offensively. The ball is really moving.
And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Terry. Terry's got 3 assists now in this one. Bosch against Nowitzki. Bosch, that's good. Bosch has got 8 points.
Well, he really used the height advantage there down on the blocks.
Terry outside. From outside, off the mark.
He has yet to get into the flow of this game. His teammates have done their part, but they need him to pick his game up.
Stuck with the play, finished it, and now a chance for the three-point play.
Good work that time, Steve. I mean, he willed that one into the basket. If there was ever any question as to the value of LeBron, last season displayed it. Not so much in what he brought to the Heat, but the void and the gaping hole he left in Cleveland.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Butler comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Barea subbed in for Jason Kidd. Free throw, no good for LeBron. Back to that point, Clark, about LeBron and leaving Cleveland. Yeah, they went from one of the top elite teams in the East and the entire NBA to the cellar with his departure. Steve, that is that's a tough ride on the elevator from the top floor down to the basement.
Boy, that was tough. I mean, talk about leaving a void. The 2-time MVP leaves, walks away, and you get nothing back for him. I mean, you got a feel for Cleveland, and now it's about rebuilding their team going into the future.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
Jason Terry really came into his own once he was acquired by Dallas after his early seasons in Atlanta. Not a traditional point guard, much more effective as a shooting guard, and he fits right in with the Mavericks.
Here's Butler. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Miami trailer. Here's House. Shot is blocked. Out of bounds. They'll keep possession. There's 21 seconds left to play here in the third. Good on the shot. Here's Terry. 5 points in the game. Wade is covering. Terry dishes to Butler. Covered by LeBron. Now Terry. And no good trying to get that one. And we wrap up the third and looking to be an exciting fourth quarter. An exceptional performance from Caron Butler.
Well, we know he can score, so it's not really a huge shock to see him put up these kind of big numbers.
And I would think
And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has a report for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Yes, gentlemen, the spark today came from the Dallas Mavericks. No hiccups in their game plan, has everything rolling in their direction. Sometimes things just fall into place, and it looks like it's one of those games.
Thanks, Doris. Terry kicks to Nowitzki. Shakes him. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And guys, how about the career that Dirk Nowitzki has had? Just amazing numbers. In fact, last season on the all-time scoring list, he passed some player named Larry Bird. Not sure if you've heard of him, but incredible numbers for Dirk Nowitzki, who's just had an amazing run for the Dallas Mavericks.
And so Nowitzki nails both of them. Steve was bringing up Dirk, passing Bird. How high do you think Dirk Nowitzki can finish when it's all said and done?
You know, his game is really close to the ground, so he can play the way he's playing for a long time. I mean, it's not predicated on overwhelming athleticism. And that shooting touch and his unbelievable ability to make shots from all kinds of contorted angles at 7 feet tall, I think he's got another 6 to 8 high-quality years left in him, barring injury, so he could go much further up that scoring chart.
What an offensive display he's putting on.
And at this point, Steve, you got to put more pressure on him, bring help, and make him move the ball.
He kicks it to Haywood, covered by LeBron. A jump hook. Haywood, no good. And Miami has possession. A 2-point game. Here's Haslam. The Mavericks pull it in. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Borea kicks to Nowitzki. Here's Haywood. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. And the Mavericks lead by 4.
Now they've got to offer more resistance inside. Just too many easy buckets in the paint.
Yeah, Steve, and that's the top priority for any defense. You got to protect the paint.
And that one's good. 17 points for LeBron.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
And the Mavericks call time here.
You got to keep everybody on the same page. They need to get their heads together. That's the goal.
I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle said to his team. With his team struggling from three-point territory, he told them to start looking for more high-quality shots inside the paint. We're forcing too many threes, he said. Stop with the bombs and work it inside.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Fernandez, the pass to Chandler. Passes it to Butler. No good. And it's the Heat taking it the other way. And they're running. Knocked loose. Here's Fernandez. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Mario Chalmers picks one up. And he makes the first. That one falls, so he hits both of them. The Heat trail by 4. Takes it up. Bosch can't hit.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Bosch gets called for the reach. That's his first foul.
First foul.
Here's Butler. Straight up. Bucket's good. Butler's got 4 this quarter.
Boy, he's been good offensively tonight. I really like what I've seen.
Haywood against Bosch. To the paint. Here's the block. Another shot. Mavericks leading by 6. Here's Butler. It's rebounded by Bosch. Bosch has got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Wade, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
D-Wade playing well. 12 points, and he's also been solid at the foul line. 4 points for him from there.
Yeah, nice job there. You can't let those opportunities at the line slip away, and he's converted his.
That free throw good from Wade. A different look for Dallas. Nowitzki comes in for Brendan Haywood, and it's Terry in for Rudy Fernandez. And a switch here also for Miami. LeBron, he's checked in for Dampier. That one is no good. Here comes Kidd. Nowitzki for 3. And it's LeBron James with the rebound. Chandler, no good.
And the defender, the rotation came over, really seemed to bother him, and that threw that shot off.
And the basket by Wade.
You know, the teardrop sometimes is one of those, oh no, oh yeah shots.
And the Mavericks call time here. They're ahead by 3. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Butler. Terry dishes to Chandler. Jams it straight down.
Yeah, he did awfully well to thread that pass there into the paint.
1:37 left in the fourth quarter. Haslam against Nowitzki. It's rebounded by Dallas. Nowitzki's got his 5th rebound in this one.
And he is still scoreless. It looks like he doesn't even want to be out there.
Here's the break. Right up. Bosch with the bucket.
As if there was any question, Kev, he's just not fazed by the pressure. He stays focused and always makes big plays.
And Nowitzki backs in. Chalmers against Kidd. 6 on the shot clock. Over Chalmers. Sinks it. And here are the Heat now. Trailing by 5. Here's LeBron. Money! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Guys, he's really shot the ball well. It's definitely not his fault they find themselves trailing in this one.
Now here's Terry. There's the feet to Nowitzki. Outside for Kidd. From deep. But they get it back. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Now they're just trying to stretch this game out, so good foul there. Stop the clock.
Yeah, good solid foul because with the scoring time as it is, that's really their only option.
And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Gets them both, and it's a 5-point ballgame.
Well, he handled his business at the line, and now it's a 2-possession lead.
And the Heat call time here. They trail by 5. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, what they'd like to do is get a quick shot and then go for the foul.
And then they've got to hope, Steve, for some missed free throws as well.
There's 21 seconds left in the game. Stolen by Terry.
Great job defensively, getting out and forcing that turnover.
That's his second personal. Team's timeout. 2.
Gets the first. That increases their lead to 6. Perfect from the line, and it's a 7-point ball game.
Big foul there. He hits the clutch free throws and pads their lead.
And the Heat call time here. They're trailing by 7. There's 10 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Guys, what's your take?
Well, they're not going to win this game, but at least you want to finish it out strong.
Well, there's no quit in them, that's for sure, Steve. You certainly can give them credit for that.
Here's Chalmers. And it's sent back by Nowitzki. But they recover it. So we see the Mavericks get the win here. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Jason Terry.